Happy Monday, everybody. So, by the looks of the title, it might sound like I'm talking about porn. This is how I stumbled upon coming up with my idea for today's live. Anyway, so So remember when you were a kid and you were watching TV late at night, because we were able to stay up late at night when we were kids, at least people my age, and you stumbled upon porn. You didn't know it was porn, but you knew it was bad because it was all, snowy like, and you tried to make out some boobs or whatever it was. And as a kid, oh, my dogs. Anyways, so that is the subject of my live today. So I stumbled upon porn. I was watching TV and I stumbled upon porn, and it wasn't snowy, it was all real and I could see it, and it was just on the movie network. And then I got to thinking about porn, and I got to thinking about the women specifically on porn, and how lifelike they make people think they're actually having a good time. And you know what? Maybe they are. I don't know. But in the same breath, they make sex to be a certain way when we know in real life it's not always perfect. The way it starts, not always perfect. And so we want to make sure that our sex lives are perfect. And so when it's not that way, we tend to either look at ourselves and think, maybe there's something wrong with me. Maybe there's something wrong with my partner. Maybe it's the lighting. How come I don't look like her? Why does this look sexy on the camera, but it doesn't look sexy when we're doing it? And I'm probably letting go of a lot of information from my personal life right now, so I'm going to stop right there. But the whole point of my video today, and you know what, my husband's going to walk in the door, and I'm doing my live, and he's going to hear the word porn. So anyways, the whole point of my story today is that I'm sure there comes a time in everyone's relationship where, when it first starts, it's all hot and heavy. You guys just can't keep your hands off each other. You're always, intimate, affectionate, whatever. And then you become kind of stuck, and maybe you're in the situation where you're, long term, you maybe married the person, and things aren't as hot and heavy as they were at the beginning. And you're wondering why. I'm sure your husband's wondering why, or your partner's wondering why. What's changed? Things should be better, right? I mean, it's not like what shows on the movies when everyone's always romantic and, sex is always great. And we come to this point, and it may be earlier in other relationships or much later, whatever. But there comes a point when you're in a relationship and it's not quite as physical and may not even be quite as exciting. And, I'm not different than anyone else. There are times when I've thought about, what the hell's wrong with me? And I always pointed it at myself. That's me. I would never point it at my partner. There was nothing wrong with them. It would be with me. I would always blame it on the fact that I was tired. Of course, I didn't have kids, so I couldn't say the kids took everything out of me, but I would still have that excuse that I was tired. And so, or I'm, it's that time of the month or something like that, right? So it was probably about a year ago, and this is part of my journey, and some of you are following me, but it's probably a year ago that I finally realized what it was. So about a year ago, I started losing all the weight, as you can see from my journey. And I started to feel really confident about myself. I started to feel like, oh my God, my clothes are smaller or larger. The small clothes that I had before are now fitting, or they're big on me. And so I'm going down in size. And to tell you the truth, it definitely helped in my relationship, my physical relationship, to be even honest. And it really came down to me. So I was right. I pointed the finger at me, and it was me, but I didn't realize until a change actually happened, and it had to start with me. Now, I didn't lose weight because I thought, I sucked at better, or I was too tired to have sex or anything like that. That's not why it started. I obviously didn't feel confident enough in my own body that I needed to make a change. But that change created so many other changes. And this one change that I noticed was I was more confident. So I was more willing to put myself out there. And that sounds ridiculous because, women are just so self-conscious about how they look in bed, and maybe I'm an exception or maybe I'm the rule. It doesn't really matter. I'm sure there's women out there. Give me a bunch of love hearts if you agree, women or men, where, you know, you just don't feel right naked. And so you almost don't want to show your body naked. And so what do you do when you're naked, right? You either take a shower or you have sex. And so the point of my story is that there's a lot of women out there who feel this way, and maybe they feel it in silence. And God bless them to recognize them, or to recognize this, but even more so if they decided to make a change. And so if you're willing to look at yourself and say, you know what, I have to change something because this is maybe ruining my relationship, or my physical relationship with my partner is not the same and they're getting frustrated, blah, blah, blah. I would encourage you to maybe look at how you feel about how you look. I'm not saying that any of you guys have a problem with how you look, but that's what it was with me. I truly feel that way. I truly feel better about how I look in my clothes, how I look, you know, without my clothes. And then, of course, that perception of how my husband might look at me without my clothes. And so it's a lot easier for me to be intimate with him and not necessarily care too much about what the dirty movies have. And I know that our relationship will keep going with or without the physical part of it. But that physical part of any relationship is important. And if it is, in fact, something to do with your self-image, about how you look without your clothes on, I would encourage you to take a look at if there was anything that you can change, and if there was something you can change, to explore it. Now, men out there who may complain that maybe they're not getting enough, or they're wondering, why is it that my wife isn't giving it up like she used to? Take a look at how she might feel about herself first, because that might be it. And encourage her to find her best version, because that's the best thing you could possibly do, is encourage her to feel confident. And it's not enough to say, hey, I love you the way you are, the way you look. It's not enough to say that. She has to feel it. And so ask her that question. You know, what will it take for you to feel confident enough so that, you know, maybe we can start being intimate like we were back in the day when we were kids? Because I don't know if it's as we grow older, we feel a little bit more conscious about how we look. Maybe it's the media that's making us feel inadequate, but it's something. It definitely is something. You will get to that point where you feel confident enough again to get hot and heavy with your relationship. It's just a matter of recognizing why it's changed. And I just wanted to share my story about why it's changed for me. So I hope that wasn't too much information, and I'm thinking that maybe my mom's watching. I hope she doesn't feel uncomfortable. Hey, Mike. Hey, Patrick. You can't see me for some reason? That's weird. Hey, Jeep. So a few of you are watching. I hope you can share this story with others, maybe others whom you think might benefit. But that's my story for today. I hope you have a great day. It's a Monday. Tomorrow's Tuesday. We're closer to the weekend. Talk to you again. Bye.